Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to begin our preview of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Now, there are going to be a lot of units and a lot of vision cards coming out for this thing. 4 units and 4 VCs, I believe. We already have Cloud, I about said Squall. Squall in all of his glory is on the screen, and my Squall dominance in this next limited Guild Wars is ready. Take this, water units. But we're not talking about Final Fantasy VIII, we are talking about Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. So of course I mean Cloud, Tifa, and Cloud's vision card are already out in JP, so we can begin looking at these, seeing if it is something you want to save through, because with Volk out right now, Ashen King Mont coming, and a few other things between now and then, there are going to be some temptations to spend your Visior. So let's get an idea if you do want to save or not, and let's start with the main character of Advent Children, our boy Cloud. Here he is. He's a 100 cost light unit, and so you can imagine there might be some pain and suffering when it comes to pulling him. In the global game, 100 cost units, I mean, they kind of suck to pull. His Trustmaster is a piece of armor. The stats on it aren't that great, and while I think the TMR buff is interesting, like reaction block rate and slash attack for you and your allies, I don't know that it's anything you would like pull him for. But let's be real, people who are pulling this guy are pulling him, one, because he's going to be a great sword user that helps, like, you know, keep propelling those great sword teams forward, and two, because it's Cloud. Look how many people in War of the Visions still play Sephiroth today, and now they're going to get another version of Sephiroth, and I really do hope that it brings some players back to War of the Visions or brings some new players to the game, because we can always use more players. I want the game to survive. Call me crazy. Now, his jobs are Determined Soldier, Great Knight, and Knight, and I like the sub jobs, if for no other reason than for the support abilities in them. His master ability is the Light group buff. He is a light element unit. He has reaction block rate 40. He reduces physical damage taken by 10%. He gets 15 AoE resist and 20 slash attack resist penetration, as well as an upgraded skill. Hey, watch this. It's a good one. Reaction block rate is good, physical damage reduction is good, AoE resist is good, slash attack resist pin is good, and an upgraded skill is good. He didn't miss. Hey, guess what? They're not going to make this guy suck. If we look at his stats real quick, like pre dream upgrades and then with the dream upgrades, he's a 70 agility unit, so he's fast. He has a big attack score, 898 or 718. He's got a lot of HP. He's going to roll in with his greatsword and just start wrecking people. Now, let's look at his support abilities next. He has some bangers of support abilities. Feelings regained or strong determination regained. Look, he's got some feels, okay? And they give him a nice buff. First of all, he gets that, like, yo, area size damage reduction thing that so many units in this get for both physical and magic. His goes up to 25% with the upgrade. That's going to make him harder to kill. He then gets defense pin 40 and slash attack pin 40 in one support ability. Like, just with this one support ability, you know this unit's not going to suck anymore. Of course, he's going to have some damage built into his kit. Duh, he's a DPS character. This completely unlocks him. He's now hard to kill and does more damage. Wow. Okay, if you want some more defense pin and attack, you can go Great Knight's Tips. This is one of the reasons why I like this support, this sub job for him, because he gets defense pin and attack in one support ability. If you want to run his new unique one, you can pick up move and agility. He's already a fast unit. If for some reason you want him to go faster and move more, you can grab that right here. I would caution you on this one sometimes in PvP. You don't want him outpacing your team and moving too far ahead all of the time. Okay, a good Knight support ability is Holy Protection. Debuff resist is whatever, but there's 12 AoE resist if you just find yourself wanting to really stack that and go for big numbers. The Pierce and Missile resist, this is by far the worst one, or you could go HP slash attack resist penetration 40 more right here. Look, with slash attack pin, 40, 40, 20 is 100. Done. There you go. You got 100. That's GG easy right there. But you might not want to do that. Okay, his new counter move, Blade Guard. Chance to counter slash and missile, 70% proc chance, 40% damage reduction. Awesome. There you go. You get a high proc chance, counter move. We're off to a 100 rank start here, boys and girls, which of course it's Cloud. He's not going to suck. Okay, his main job, what does he do? Well, his cheat move is 14 AP and it's an agility debuff. He scales purely off attack, 120% attack. Then the power to protect what's important. This is a self-only buff for him that reduces the magic damage taken by 7,500 HP for self. He gives himself a 7,500 magic damage HP barrier. He also gives himself 40% attack, and he seals shell removal for 3 turns for 4 turns. He's gonna get shell. Like, if you can seal shell removal, you better believe shell is coming a little bit later in the kit. So you're obviously going to want him to cast this anytime you're fighting mages, or anytime at all, because it gives him a 40% attack steroid as well. Okay, let's go. Let's look at his, we'll just go in order. Crime End. This is a single target resistance debuff 25 just for this cast. So it is not a permanent single target resist debuff, which is really important for like PVE chaining situations. So it's just for this cast, but hits really hard, 200% damage modifier, and when the target is killed, automatically cast another skill, AP recovery for self when enemy is incapacitated, and if his HP is above 50%, restore 10 AP to himself. Okay, now here's his shell skill, Unyielding Vision, which upgrades to a strong vision. He's going to run to his group, this is a group buff, and apply shell. So grant shell for 4 turns for allies. If the targets have 1 or more effects, ignore fatal or shell. Okay, so it always says this weird stuff on WoTV Calc, but he goes to his group and gives them shell. That's what that's saying. Then he will give himself courage. Okay, that's great. Then he will give himself reduce physical damage taken by 25% for 4 turns. He will give himself single target resist 25, and he will give himself dispel protect if the targets have 1 or more of the following effects. So just he gets dispel protect. Like, again, don't worry about reading all this. He gives himself protect, dispel, single target resist, physical damage minus 25%, courage, and gives his whole group shell. Is he feeling 100 cost yet? Like, at some point, we are going to have a conversation with this game about how good some of the new characters are. Like, we'll have that conversation, I'm sure, many times. Okay, Brutal Slash, which upgrades to Brutal Slash. Reduces physical damage taken. The larger the attack size area, increase buff for targets. Effect not translated. 200% modifier damage. Hits in a square. Guaranteed hit. So it has some effect that I don't know what it is yet, but it's a hard-hitting AoE guaranteed hit move that also does something else and is a 3-hitter. So that is potentially very powerful for PVE chaining teams. He's a great sword unit with a 3-hit attack built in. You could also run the vision card on him to give him even more 3-hit attacks. You would need to find some AP recovery sources here, but he's fast enough that you might get 6 multi-hit attacks in with him, or 5. Take advantage of this plus the vision card. Then his job level 25, destroy, dispels all buffs, dispels all haste, dispels physical damage up, dispels magic damage up, 200% modifier damage, decrease reflect rate by 50. So I believe, I don't quite know what that is for sure, but I believe decrease reflect rate means counter moves off by 50. It's a nice longish range small AoE attack, and so he doesn't struggle for moves to hit at range. This one is a little bit longer than this one, and it hits in a smaller AoE. Still very powerful. Let's go on. Determined Soldier. So this is his new job, Subjob. He has a berserking attack, which, you know, could potentially be very powerful if you can get the AI to cast it, which they probably won't. And then he has Double Assault, which is a short range 4-use 2-hit attack. Again, PVE implications right here. It's a hard-hitting double attack as well. Okay, Great Knight. If you were going to run Great Knight, why would you do that? He can give allies Dispel Auto Restore, but you have a TMR in this game that kind of already does that with Wind Veritas' TMR, and he already has 2 banger moves. You might want this, though, for the strike attack move in here. He has a multi-hit strike attack in here that will also decrease light resist for the target. Useful in PvP, useful in PvE. Knight, why would you run Knight? Well, you do have some status effect stuff in here. You have a self buff that'll give him, HP up and all of that. You do have a slash attack resist penetration down attack right here to kind of turn the enemy's slash attack resist penetration off. I don't know. I think you probably are going to run Great Knight for the strike attack access. Then His limit break breaks physical barriers, 200% chance physical damage up for himself by 20% for 3 turns. So it's going to up his damage. It's already 240% modifier. It decreases chain resist on the target by 50 for 3 turns and gives him 10 AP back from the 43 it takes to cast. Like, guys, if you didn't get it, this dude's going to be really good. If you are saving for Cloud, I think you're not going to be disappointed. You will also get a vision card. I thought I had it clicked on, but apparently I didn't. Here it is, the Advent Children vision card. It has agility, attack, and HP on it. The unit effect is attack and HP. Okay, that's pretty good. Here's your jobs that can use it. You see Greatsword obviously going to be one of those jobs with these other sword jobs on there as well. This is Sword Red Mage, and I think this is Sword Warrior that I see on there too. It's not Sword Knight. I don't think that's Sword Knight. No, so that's a little bit disappointing. Well, let's click the unit list right here. So here's kind of a sampling of the units that can use this. Oh, look, really good units right off the top. Oh man, I wonder if A2 and June would be good partners for him. Obviously, yeah, disappointingly enough for me, Sword Knight not on there because the group buff on this is insane. Attack 60%. That's really good. Critical evade 16 is whatever. Oh, single target resist 20. You get attack and single target resist on a card. You're going to love that. And then on arenas, you'll get debuff effect weakening 15. That's his card. Now, I do believe my tabs are like closing on me over here. You are going to get a sword you can farm for him as well. So let's open that up. Ooh, my pictures aren't loading all of a sudden too. I wonder if like we've got a little weird thing going on here with WoTV Calc maybe. Anyway, let me open these tabs and see what we're looking at. So here's the sword. What was this other stuff? Yeah, that's just nothing. Okay, the combined sword. Here we go. What are we looking at? So the attack version, 208 attack. That's probably the one you're going to want to build. For Cloud, you will get effect not translated, but you will get initial AP 20, reduce magic damage taken, larger attack size 15%, so more magic damage reduction, and slash attack 15. I would like to know what this is. I don't know off the top of my head right now, but I don't need to know to tell you. The Cloud ain't gonna suck. So if you're saving for Cloud, stay strong, my friends. He looks to be a meta unit for a long time, and being in the light element is a boon for him, and being in the Greatsword job I think is a boon for him as well, because Greatsword is currently towards the top of the meta, if not the best. All right, that's the Cloud preview. I hope that was helpful for you. Yeah, stay strong, y'all. Have a good one. Peace.